Number 2. It says, Feel the Beat. That's a pretty expressive title for something very simple. Just 4 beats. So, same thing. 4 beats on, 4 beats rest. 4 beats play, 4 beats rest. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, tonguing. Okay, tonguing can be a huge headache. Okay, people tongue in various ways. Many of them wrong. Let me give you some examples. Rate that on a scale from 0 to 5. 5 being fantastic. You probably just gave me a 0. That's because I'm using so much of my tongue that if I didn't have a mouthpiece in my mouth, I would be projecting it out of my face. That is not the right way to tongue. When you're learning the mechanics, the basics of a horn, generally you're going to do things probably either overly or, well, not underly. You're probably going to overdo things or underdo things. So, here's another example. Underdo it. Not even really tonguing at all. You're kind of trying to make it happen. Like, using your breath to tongue. That's not good. This is what the visual I want you to get, okay? Visual is this. You are outside with a water hose. Water's coming out, and you have a butter knife. Okay? Butter knife. This is the exact same analogy that Mr. Weldon gave me when I was in 6th grade band. And it stuck with me forever, still does, on how to tongue properly. Now, there's various tonguing styles and all kinds of fancy, shaping of the tone and all that. No. We're just doing basics. So imagine you get a butter knife. And like visually imagine, even go outside, if you're going to use a butter knife, get mom and dad's permission. But go outside with a butter knife or something really thin, like a really thin piece of plastic or something, on a water hose, and just watch what that does. That's essentially what you're needing to do tonguing, okay? So, proper tonguing. Barely interrupting the tone. I mean, you can even tongue softer than that, more of a legato tongue, like da 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 da, or you can do a harder tone, more of a staccato, sta ta ta ta. That's okay. Those are stylistic choices. But if you're doing one by default and you don't know why you're doing it, so if you're constantly tonguing like this, and you don't know why, you're just doing it, you're probably not needing to tongue staccato. You need to lighten up. Use just the very little bit of your tongue. I know it's not polite to stick your tongue out, but I got to show you some things. It's like if you bite your tongue, stick a little bit of piece of it out. Just imagine you're just pressing the thinnest little piece of like the layer of skin that when you get a really cold popsicle and your tongue sticks to it and you pull it too soon and a little skin comes off, maybe bleeds a little bit. That little thin it's kind of gross, sorry, but it's a good example. That little thin little layer, that's all you're touching the reed with, just lightly, okay, very lightly, very lightly. You don't want to overdo it. Remember, butter knife through water hose water. Okay, so feel the beat. We're doing 4 beats again. Metronome on. All right. And we're going to slow it down this time because earlier we were just doing a whole note, so it didn't really matter how fast it was going. So I'm actually going to slow it down even more. I'm going to do 60 beats per minute. This is 1 beat every second. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. We're still on D. Remember, D is index finger here, covering the thumb hole there, okay? That's it right there. Remember, make sure you got a nice little fleshy pad of your fingers covering that hole totally. Breathing nice and deep. Make sure you're breathing in. If your shoulders are going up, but your chest is not puffing out, doing it wrong. Okay. There you go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, I was doing a pretty heavy tonguing on that. I'm going to speed it up just a little. That was kind of a heavier tonguing. Let's do it again. 4 beats. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So I basically showed you the 2 basic ways of tonguing. Staccato, kind of heavier, you break the notes up more. Excuse me. Or legato, you maintain the note through, you're continually blowing, but you're just interrupting it lightly. Both acceptable. Just make sure you're using like whenever we're playing a song, generally you're not going to be going toot, 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 toot. And generally you're not going to be going la, 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 la the whole time. It's generally somewhere in between. That's generally kind of an in-between tonguing. Okay. Remember, at any point, if you need to review, just rewind the video. Double trouble. Okay, now we're going to practice going from C to D. I know, it's mind-blowing, but you can do it. Just make sure whenever you drop your middle finger back down for C, that you actually are covering the whole tone hole. That sounds kind of cool, but you don't want to leave your tone hole partially uncovered. Okay, when you do that, you start getting weird. It doesn't flow. You get backup sound in your throat, and the wind energy doesn't flow right. So keep tone holes covered. Okay, so double trouble number 4 in your book. Hope you have it. You're gonna do. Actually, think about this question. I'm not gonna answer it. I'm gonna let you wait. I'm gonna wait a little bit, and I'm gonna wait for you to answer. Obviously, I can't hear you, so this is on you. Here we go. How many beats are you gonna play C in the first measure? Okay, if you said 5, remember there's only 4 beats in this measure. But if you said 2, you are correct, Mundo. Okay, in the third measure, how many beats will you play D? Again, if you said 2, you are correct. Let's get to it. We are at number 4. I'm going to slow it down. I'm doing 60 beats per minute. That means 1 beat every second. 60 seconds in a minute. So 60 beats per minute, 1 beat per second. So here we go. We're going to do, I'm going to actually, instead of me playing it right now, I want you to play along with me as I say what to do, okay? And then I will play as well. So here we go. I'm going to count you off. It'll be 4. So here we go. And 1, 2, 3. Breathe. C, C, D, D, C. Rest, rest, rest. D, D, C, C, D. Rest, rest, rest. Okay. Practice that some. And now I'm going to play. Okay. Here we go. Rest, rest, rest. Rest, rest, rest. Now you may have noticed I changed up my tonguing styles a little bit throughout playing that. That's okay. I'm just trying to give you a sample of different tonguing methods and what it sounds like, the tongue notes in different kinds of ways. Generally, it's going to be a standard da 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 like a butter knife going through a stream of water from a water hose. Okay. Moving on up, number 6. So we're going to incorporate all of our notes. This will round out our instructional piece here. And I'm looking at the time, about 47 minutes right now, so keeping it under an hour. So let's bring it on to number 6. I'm going to count it off and say and speak the notes as you play. Okay? So we're going to turn on the tempo, on the metronome I mean, but we're going to slow it down. There we go. So 60 beats per minute, 1 beat per second. So I will count you off. I'll say 1, 2, 3, breathe, and then I'll start to say, I'll speak the notes and the rests for you to follow along. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, breathe. B flat, B flat, B flat, B flat, B flat, rest, rest, rest. B flat, C, C, D. Rest, rest, rest. Okay. Now let's do it together. Here we go. I'm going to play from the side here. That does 2 things. Number 1, you can watch my breathing, and number 2, I can read the music. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, off. All right. Thank y'all so much. I hope you made it to the end of the video. You know, it's really awkward talking to yourself in a video, but I really enjoyed going through all the steps and just thoroughly, step by step, showing you everything I know pretty much to do with all the breathing and the mouthpiece setup and the embouchure and opening up all your oral cavity and all the stuff I talked about. It's been fun. I hope you, I know you'll find it educational. I hope you found it mildly entertaining. And we'll get back with you next week. And we will pick up where we left off. So signing off for now. Good luck, and make sure you are practicing. You need to be practicing about 15 minutes a day. What this will do is it helps your muscles in your chest and all your cartilage and your ligaments and your tendons and all your bones and all your muscles and everything and your lungs themselves to get all used to being exercised like that. Same thing with all your oral cavity. Remember that tip I gave you? Shove your swab into your bell and then breathe deeply. And try to open up your oral cavity. You might get a little lightheaded a little bit. Remember trying to open everything up. And just remember care instructions. So as you finish, number 1, take care of your reed. So you unscrew your ligature. At this point, your reed may slip off. So, it's a good idea to kind of have it somewhat flat so it doesn't just go flying off on the floor. Clarinet reeds are very thin. And they break easily, and it's very frustrating when you do, because especially if you get a good one and it breaks, it's terrible. It's so disappointing. So get you a good reed guard. Make sure when you're placing your horn somewhere, you don't just toss it onto the seat next to you. Ideally, you have a stand to put it on, and it doesn't fall over. If you have to lay it down, do not lay it on top of the key work. That's how keys get bent. Lay it kind of flat like this, okay? So it's obviously not going to stay on the thumb rest, but kind of balance it like that. But whatever you do, please don't just leave it sitting on a chair out in the bandstands. I have had my horn broken at the church, up in the bandstands. Yes, this key right here, this not on this actual clarinet, on the other one I have. This key right here, somebody was being irresponsible, but you cannot trust that the people in the bands are necessarily going to be watching out for your stuff. So put your horn away. Put it on a stand. If you're not going to put it away, so a lot of times I will leave my horn out, but I leave it on a stand, and I have a mouthpiece guard. So if you don't have one, get one, and that will protect your mouthpiece. Because if this chips, that's game over. You're done. You got to get a new mouthpiece. If this chips, you're fighting an uphill battle perpetually, and you don't want to do that to yourself, because playing the clarinet is really an enjoyable experience. It is one of the most beautiful instruments. It has such an interesting sound. And so remember, you're putting your reed up nice and gently, protecting the tip of it so it doesn't break. Reed guard. Remember, whenever you're putting your instrument up, you will want to monitor how difficult it is to twist the pieces apart. If it's extremely difficult, a little cork grease goes a long way. And I mean that. You don't need to lather it up with cork grease. Just a little coating of it. Put it on there. Let it sit, for a couple hours. Put together. Lets that cork grease get all soaked in. And then, put everything up. And then you must swab your instrument. Very gross story I'll share with you. When I was in the 6th grade, so I was about the age of some of you. A lot of y'all learning this right now are of this age. The school year ended. I put my horn up under my bed. As a bad clarinet student, I did not take it out very often in practice. I decided to take it out a couple of weeks probably after school was over. I pulled my instrument out, and inside of it, growing, was mold. And it was gross. White, fuzzy mold all on the inside of my instrument. So please heed my warnings. Swab your horn. Okay? It takes a simple step. And if you can pick up a silk one of these, it's even better, especially if you have a really high-end clarinet. Silk one is better. So I've used a cloth one for years, but I'm just letting you know silk is a better way to take care of it. So when you swab it out, if you can actually track down some pad savers, they're like little fuzzy. They look like brush bottle cleaners or something, brush cleaners. Just slip it down in the tube, and it'll save your pads. So that's about it. Thank y'all so much. God bless. Remember, we're doing this as a way to be an instrument and a vessel to praise God and help pull on the Spirit for His people. And so it is an honor and a privilege to have the aptitude, the ability to even be able to learn an instrument. So I hope that you are feeling encouraged and spiritually minded in your pursuit. As the scripture says, do all things as unto the Lord. And that includes learning how to play a clarinet. So thanks, and see you next time.